presents No Surrender.
To Not Wrestling. Hey, yo. Well, that's making the cut. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ultimate X Podcast. I am Gabe here with good old Hoss Daddy joining us once again for another episode. What are you cutting me off
listening, I'm going to need you to bear with us. I watched this fucking show like 3 months ago.
for? Well, we're here. We're finally recording this. This is from No Surrender from July 17th, 2005. That was we're hot in the middle of the summer here for No Surrender. Hoss, what happened on the rundown here for No Surrender?
Down.
Yeah, what's happened on the Meltzer notes?
Oh, you want the dirty sheets?
Let's get down and dirty. By the way, if you're listening to this, you're on YouTube now. Listening to this for free because we're not charging for this no more.
Freeloaders.
Yeah, we love you.
No one wanted to pay for our shit, so now we gotta give it to you. Fucking.
You're
people.
welcome.
Anyways, in the June 27th, I don't know, I said SpongeBob fish. June 27th. Edition of the Meltzer report, the Observer. He gave Slammiversary. I don't remember what would be great Slammiversary.
Can you hear me now? I don't know what just happened. Everything froze up on me. But we're still recording.
Yeah, right? Well, we gotta edit that out.
Nah, it's staying in.
All right. Well, do you remember what we gave Slammiversary as a rating? 'Cause I don't fucking know.
We gave it an average rating. We said it could have been better.
All right. Well, Meltzer gave it a 60%.
That sounds about what we did.
I think so. He said Daniels versus Michael Shane versus Chris Sabin was match of the night.
I think that's what we said too.
I think that's accurate. He said Truth versus the Outlaw was the worst match.
Yes.
Which I also think that's what we said.
Yes. We skipped through it basically.
In the news. TNA is confident they'll have the Spike TV deal in September.
Oh.
The company announced at Slammiversary that they would still be taping TV. The shows will be aired on Sun Sports in Florida for the interim and on TNAWrestling.com for free every week.
Yes, it was very hyped up during No Surrender.
Yes. The plan is to build everything to the October pay-per-view Bound for Glory, which TNA is billing as their WrestleMania. Sorry.
What the fuck? That's in the notes?
That's fine. Yes. Two major stories going into Slammiversary. Dusty Rhodes was told by Terry Taylor that he was being let go, but maybe brought in if needed. Rhodes complained that it was Taylor and not someone from the main committee and quit. Story number 2, the winner of the King of the Mountain match. What did I fucking write here? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna skip that one.
Can you not read your notes?
I don't know what I wrote here. An indie promoter who uses various TNA talent was told that Jeff Jarrett. Oh, okay. The second story is involving the winner of the King of the Mountain match. An indie promoter who uses various TNA talent was told that Jeff Jarrett would be getting the title back. Everyone in TNA felt that Jarrett getting the title back would be the worst possible thing, and the decision was then made to put the belt on Raven. AJ Styles was not upset about dropping the title because he actively said he didn't want to be world champion and he wanted to go back to the X division. Jarrett did not take the change well and refused to compete in the match if he wasn't winning because that's his gimmick and that doesn't work for him, brother. They wound up shooting an angle on the pre-show where Jeff attacked a fan dressed by Jeff Hardy, who was played by indie wrestler Sal Rinauro, and he was arrested. The feeling, the feeling is the decision was made to have Raven win and hold the belt for a few months because Monty Brown has cooled off and they need a few months to heat him back up. The other key name notable for, the other key name notable for their absence at Slammiversary were Jeff and Matt Hardy, who were scheduled to return that night. At press time, Matt refused to make a written commitment to appear for TNA. The company was not strong on the idea of Jeff coming back without Matt. There's a feeling that Matt is WWE bound, though.
Spoiler alert.
James Gibson was backstage at Slammiversary, Jamie Noble. And he was offered a deal. TNA offered him a contract.
Nice.
And he seemed much more willing than in the past, and it appears as if he will sign the contract.
He doesn't.
And some historical notes here. In what is billed as his final Ring of Honor match, CM Punk defeated Austin Aries to win the Ring of Honor title. As we all remember, TNA were looking to sign CM Punk.
That was beginning of the cult personality Punk, where he came out with the suits.
Yes.
Signing his WWE contract on the belt.
He left the building with the belt, and Booker Gabe Sapolsky? How you say that shit? Polsky. Yelling, "He stole the fucking belt!" Punk then talked about how the Ring of Honor title was the most important title in North America. He then channeled the heel turn of Jake Roberts, saying that a man found a snake that was dying, loved the snake, nursed him back to health, and in the end, the snake bit him and killed him. As the man died, he asked the snake why. The snake said from the beginning, "You knew I was a snake," and then said the ROH belt is now the #1 belt in the world. There's nobody who can take it from him. Punk said he was just like the devil and turned on the crowd, calling them all suckers for believing his story and that he liked them. Stemming from his turn in the Ricky Steamboat angle, he said nobody could beat him for the title. The devil remark was to set up Chris Daniels, the fallen angel, to come out in gear to challenge for the title. They fought with Daniels going up for a moonsault, but Punk ran out of the ring. Daniels then issued a challenge for a title match right then and there, but Punk left, theoretically leaving without losing the title. However, Punk is scheduled to return for one last date in July. For whatever this is worth, Paul Heyman also went to great lengths to protect the lineage of the title and hated the idea of doing a tournament for belts, even to the point of keeping the belt for months on injured wrestler, and Sapolsky feels the same way, because he's a Paul Heyman dick rider. Matt Hardy is starting an internet show on his life.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Among the clips in the preview are him shooting a photo of Lita with a gun.
I remember, dude, his internet show was amazing.
Him running over a picture of Lita with a car. And Jeff showing up to his house nude in full body paint.
Dude, the Hardy show was amazing.
Yeah,
we're going to do an episode of this just talking about the Hardy show.
We should, before Jeff Hardy leaves in 06.
Yeah.
The next multi-TV tapings have occurred. Of note, Father James Mitchell has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe was pushed very hard. Jeff Jarrett's only appearance was him clocking Zach Gowen and Mikey Betts with a guitar. Jerry Lynn returned during the final episode's main event of Sean Waltman and AJ Styles versus A1 and Bobby Roode. Waltman accidentally kicked Styles, who was then hit by Roode's lariat for the win. Waltman and Styles argued of Lynn coming down to break it up. Michael Shane suffered a hyperextended knee in a match with James Storm. And Alex Shelley broke his nose in a match with AJ Styles.
Jesus Christ.
Moving on to the July 4th. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you.
Brock Lesnar is interested in a return to pro wrestling, and TNA believe they can sign him.
Let's go. Bork
TNA
are coming soon.
TNA are in pursuit of Brock, along with WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think Kurt Angle talked about that on his podcast, where they were gonna sign. Well, no, that's not. Angle's not here yet, so they go for him twice. Fucking idiots.
Didn't work the first time. It might work the second.
I don't know. There was a lot of sentiment that Jeff Jarrett should have been suspended for his actions at pay-per-view.
True.
The feeling expressed to us by several wrestlers was that if anyone else in the company was there and refused to wrestle in a main event because they weren't going to win, they'd be fired. And the behavior of DDP in particular was noted, and he wound up even doing the job, and even though he was a baby about it, and then they cut ties with him.
Jeff Jarrett and CM Punk, two very similar men.
Basically. The feeling was any other wrestler in the company would have been fired on the spot for that. Even Jarrett's longtime friends noted that Jeff and Jerry have almost no support in the company except for their hand-picked friends, although two of them, Dutty Mantel and Jeremy Borash, are on the booking committee, so Jeff is still taken care of and no doubt has his ears on what's going on. One said he couldn't believe how much they didn't get it, as they think going to the wrestlers and saying the new booking committee is going to fail will get them back in power, not realizing the wrestlers for the most part trust Dickerson and see Jerry as old school wrestling promoter Carney, who has lost his magic touch at being on top of the industry. The feeling among Jeff's actions this time finally made the Panda people see through him as not being a team player. I don't know why by them saying Panda people about me.
Panda people.
Others, when seeing what a clown Dave Nelson turned into, Nelson still claiming a national TV clearance in the fall and a Saturday at 6 p.m. time slot, and Jerry was hooking his wagon to him to buy the company so he can get control back, showed also that Jerry and Jeff's only interest was in controlling a bleeding company and using it for Jeff to try and play Jerry Lawler, and not in making the company succeed if Jeff not being on top was the best thing for business. It was noted that Frank Dickerson and Dixie Carter were adamant that they are the ones in control, not Jeff or Jerry, to wrestlers as of late who complain about the Jarretts. Dickerson himself has tremendous respect among the wrestlers, as they believe he's working hard. He's been a quick learner when you consider his lack of wrestling background. Regarding Matt Hardy, on TV this week, they did an interview with Zbyszko teasing a surprise for Jarrett. There was at one point an idea for the Hardys to debut as a team at the next pay-per-view. At this point, there are no plans for either to wrestle, but if Matt doesn't go to WWE, he could start at the next pay-per-view No Surrender. But maybe not wrestle since they booked out the whole card. He was not advertised because he didn't make a recent commitment, so there's leeriness with that he's with them. He's in a weird spot because if he does sign a contract, and there are people from WWE no doubt telling him not to, that he really can't come back. But if he doesn't go to TNA after everything that's gone down, WWE will have proven him a puppet of theirs. They can yank by the chain at will. Yo, Meltz is crazy. Not that most wrestlers wouldn't die to be in the same spot. At the same time, in his spot, it's got to be hard to make a contractual agreement to an organization with no national TV. Hardy did tell a European reporter this week that WWE was just rubbing his nose in it when they played his music during the wedding, and he wasn't going in. They had the the Kane and Lita wedding, I think, or Edge and Lita wedding, and they played Matt Hardy's theme when he was still fired.
Oh yeah.
Hardy appeared at an indie show in Oaktown, Illinois, on June 25th. And he did a promo where he said Adam Copeland is feces and Amy Dumas is a dumb slut.
Yo, what the fuck?
It should be noticed in the last comment that Dumas and Hardy are not on reasonably good terms anymore.
He missed the chance to call her a dumbass.
Hardy was mad that Dumas went along with doing the angle, particularly since they used aspects of their real-life relationship with Dumas talking about Kane when it was actually Matt in the situation. In a sense, since Copeland really did hate Matt, he seems to be having a ball with the character. Anything he didn't surprise me with... Wait, what? Oh, anything that didn't surprise him with Dumas, I could see where Hardy making it so public killed her as a babyface, so she could probably rationalize she had to go heel. But that's one where I try and figure the situation, just couldn't fathom letting the fake world supersede a long-term relationship and friendship. As to where his mood is these days, he did a survey question Scott Hall promo asking if he should go back to WWE or go to TNA and help TNA kick Vince's ass, with the fans cheering for the latter. WWE is suing TNA for the name The Outlaw, because it's too close to the New Age Outlaws.
Wow, what?
Yep.
It's like if they called them. It's like if they called them the New. They'd be like, no, too close.
This next story is gonna pop it. The July 11th Observer. James Gibson had a fan altercation at the July 1st show in Montreal. Nice. A fan yelled at him, saying that since he'd been fired by WWE, he had to suck dick to feed his family.
Yo, what the fuck?
After his match, acknowledged it, getting on the mic and asking the fan to come into the ring, saying if he touched him outside the ring and gets sued. Obviously, the fan didn't get into the ring. Gibson then led the fans into chanting pussy at the guy. Gibson then went outside the ring and dared the guy to take the first punch. After it was over, Gibson got on the mic, apologized to the fans, saying he was unprofessional in how he handled it, and thanked everyone for their support. Simon Inoki of New Japan is trying to put TNA into its camp, and they want to do an American G1 climax. If a deal is signed for Spike TV for the 11 p.m. Saturday night time slot after 3 hours of UFC, it's so logical a move that I can almost guarantee to make a play for it would be to have Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock on the first show.
August 1 warning.
And try and start a pro wrestling program between the two of them. The booking committee is going to get a lot more than Dusty Rhodes, who was a big UFC fan, but not big enough to realize Ortiz is a heel and Shamrock's a face. And they position Ortiz more in line with that everyone thinks of him. For whatever it's worth, those in WWE believe the deal is completed for TNA to be buying that time slot. Those in TNA say the deal is close, but it's definitely not a done deal. WWE had a Black Friday. 15 roster members fired.
Wow.
They fired Mark Jindrak, Spike Dudley, Kevin Fertig, Kevin Thor, Shannon Moore, Akio,
oh no,
Maven,
no,
who Meltzer says a surprise as he had the chance to be a superstar a few years ago, but just stopped improving almost from the start and seemed to be a victim of living the star lifestyle. Maven was no selling after the announcement, thinking his being off contract opens the doors for him to get into Hollywood since he got good looks and can talk. Gangrel was fired.
No.
Billy Kidman, Marty Jannetty.
No, not Marty.
It is assumed that none of these folks. It is assumed that none of these folks have any interest in TNA. But Shannon Moore, Akio, and Billy Kidman are expected to have tryouts. The next day, in the Figure 4 Weekly, Brian Alvarez announced that there were more releases. Bubba and Devon Dudley, Joy Giovanni,
Hey, it's my girl.
Kenzo Suzuki.
You can't see me, Kenzo Suzuki. He used to say that when he was feuding with John Cena.
Matt Morgan, Charlie Haas, Dawn Marie, and the head booker of OVW, Jim Cornette.
Oh, wow.
Now on to our final Meltzer notes before the show. July 18th. Meltzer gave a few sorry, I had to burp again. Gave a few predictions based on rumors of where some of the stars will end up. Matt Morgan has major interest by 0-1 Max in Japan.
Okay.
TNA is curious about him, but nobody in the booking team ever saw OVW tapes, so they only know about him from WWE and his newsletter rep and his stutter. He may get a chance there. If All Japan didn't have financial issues, he'd probably have a shot there, and New Japan also may have some interest. He didn't have enough long-term success in WWE to get a lot of indie bookings or overseas high-paying gigs. Charlie Haas has major interest from 0-1 Max. Some in TNA have interest in him, but it's not a lock. ROH would take him, but there are questions about him being too big for most of their major stars. He had enough TV that people doing overseas tours would be calling him. He would like to get indie work, but doesn't know if he'd get a lot at a good price tag. Marty Jannetty will be doing the same things he's been doing the past 10 years, which isn't much. The Dudleys are expected to go to TNA.
Okay.
Mark Jindrak is expected to get offers from 0-1 Max, TNA, and Ring of Honor.
Damn.
But he is destined to be forgotten about as quickly as Luther Reigns.
Oh, no. Yo, don't disrespect my boy Luther Reigns, bro.
Maven has indicated that he has interest in going to Hollywood to be an actor, believing his good looks and speaking ability will make him successful as The Rock. Well, he may have been cut under any circumstances. There were people in the company marveling at him for being out of control on a recent plane flight after people were warned that cuts were coming. Damn it. Shannon Moore has major interest from TNA. He believes it's a done deal if he wants it because he's close to Jeff Jarrett.
Dillagaff.
He also has the ability to do well in X Division. Yeah, that would happen eventually. Akio, there is much bitterness over how he left TNA, so that door is likely closed. It's likely he'll work All Japan and in between Ring of Honor. Gangrel, nothing. Billy Kidman, because he lives in Florida near enough to Orlando, he'll be able to get a tryout with TNA. He doesn't have the connections or anyone pulling for him, so he'll have to show the old WCW Kidman or there'll be no interest.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Spike, because he was an ECW star and is such an unselfish worker, is going to get a good shot in Ring of Honor. TNA could also sign him. Ferdig, haven't heard any interest expressed for him anywhere. RHINO revealed this past week on the Get in the Ring radio show that he starts at the No Surrender show. He spoiled it. TNA was actually hoping that one would be a surprise because the company at first was going to release it themselves when they made the deal, but the committee asked them to keep it quiet. The thought process was that any announcement of RHINO wasn't going to sell any buys, but it'll make the show better. It's not like, for example, if they had Sting coming in, or like Matt Hardy, whose debut could be advertised and mean something, and to keep it quiet because there are marks for the pop and then hurt business for the show in the process. For whatever this is worth, and this may have been playing the work end of this to extremes, even as late as Monday, Jeff Hardy's flight out of Woodbridge, Connecticut for Saturday's ROH show was canceled. What is he doing in
Woodbridge, Connecticut?
Was scheduled to go to Orlando and not North Carolina, although those things are simple to change. The feeling in TNA was that Hardy wasn't coming ever since June 13th because he wouldn't confirm any dates. The Outlaw will be starting the next show with a new name because WWE legal claimed Outlaw was too close to the New Age Outlaws. Noah officials have said that TNA can use Kenta Kobashi as long as it's in between tours. The holdup there is political because TNA is aligning itself with New Japan, and that alliance may prevent the booking. The idea of using Kenta, Naomichi Marufuji, or Kobashi when they come to the U.S. on their final tour is impossible due to scheduling. TNA's pay-per-view on September 11th, which is the same day as Noah ending its tour with a major show in Nagoya. However, since the three have gotten working papers, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future where TNA has something while Noah's down to put something together through Harley Race. New Japan wants TNA to do a G1 Climax tournament and to trade talent. Noah is not interested in using TNA talent, but would be willing to allow its own talent on TNA shows. At the last tapings, there was a California camera crew there filming a TV reality show pilot for Jeff and Jerry Jarrett called The Jarretts.
Oh boy.
While actually that could make for fascinating TV if they were with those two 24 hours a day, the odds of it going anywhere aren't good. A more funny Jeff Jarrett story. Behind the scenes, there's a clear deal going on with Jeff trying to rally a lot of wrestlers against Scott D'Amore in the current booking committee since they decided against giving him the title. Generally, that Jarrett position is a good one to be in, but Jarrett isn't getting much sympathy from anyone, even longtime friends who see through him. The funny story is Jarrett tried to claim to Raven he was the reason Raven was named champion, saying that when he found out he wasn't winning, he told everyone involved that Raven had to win because they were the only two people in the company who could be champions. Somehow, I'm skeptical, and with good reason, it really went down that way. Finally, an attempt to get Jushin Liger on August 14th for a match of Daniels fell through because New Japan has a Sumo Hall event the same day. Ultimo Dragon was also approached for the date, but apparently Dragon's WWE contract hasn't actually expired, and he's never been released as it was simply a hiatus that never ended. WWE simply don't use him and don't care about him working Indies or Japan. An interesting precedent if Brock Lesnar's lawyers would have followed through. But TNA is considered direct competition, so politically the deal couldn't be put together. Daniels continues to defend his X-Division title on many of his indie dates, including over Chris Sabin on a July 9th show for PWG in Hollywood. He also went to a double countout with WWE wrestler Frankie Kazarian in the same place for a rare TNA versus WWE match that obviously fell underneath WWE's radar.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Well, look at that. Thank you, Hoss, for the updates there of what's happening going into this pay-per-view. This is a loaded show? I'm kidding.
Everybody hates Jeff.
Well, we're here now. It's July 17th, 2005. I got to say, when I look at this card on paper, I was like, all right, this looks like it's going to be a good show. You know, there's not a crazy amount of gimmicks. They kind of save the gimmicks for the matches that matter. And, you know, because usually it's like a gimmick for everything no matter what. So I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
Just, you know, when I did watch this pay-per-view, I watched it in 2 different sittings. So I watched like the first half of the show one day and the second half a completely different day.
I watched this in one go, but it was about 3 months ago.
A beginning. Every end has a beginning. What was, what is once was, our future is past. Our future is born in the past. We are created. We are not the created, but the creators. Yeah, these movie style intros, I gotta say though, they're pretty cool. They get cooler every year. In this show specifically, they were spoken backwards throughout the whole intro, and I thought that was pretty unique and cool. Honestly, these are the things I look forward to every month. When they stop doing this, I'm going to stop caring. We're going to stop doing this.
I think
these are the best.
Like 2 years of like these intros, and then we're done.
Damn, we're gonna change our name instead of Ultimate X. We're gonna be called just Intro X. We just review the intro and then we end the podcast there. So we are told that Jeff Jarrett did show up on the pre-show, but before they get into what happened on the pre-show, they sent us down to our first match here. Because, you know, they got to keep you watching for what's going to happen. And we are told by Tanae later on about some big news, a video package of what happened on the pre-show. So we'll get to that after this first match, which is Alex Shelley and Matt Bentley taking on AMW, which is Chris Harris and James Storm. So, I realized something, by the way. What I don't get is, this is what's weird. Commentary keeps calling him Michael Shane, but not only in the YouTube description, if you're watching it on YouTube, and the cage match description from when it happened, he's labeled as Matt Bentley.
Yes.
But commentary in his nameplate says Michael Shane. So what the fuck is going on?
So, officially, according to A, TNA's own results page, and B, Wikipedia, it was officially Matt Bentley here.
But he is called Michael Shane, and it is shown in his nameplate as Michael Shane.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if that was like an edit through like the DVD and the streaming releases, or
maybe.
Well, I mean, I know them calling him it might have been live, but the nameplate thing maybe could have been an edit. But I mean, every like because I
No.
was
The
doing
nameplate says the name it's not supposed to.
that's
Because
what I'm saying. It says
Michael Shane came. Yeah.
So I'm saying maybe that was edited to say Michael Shane. Because
Uh,
all the
I don't
reviews that
know.
I read, so like, in order, because I haven't watched the show in like 3 months, so I did a refresher. So I went to go like look up reviews earlier, and like every review from 2005 had like every reviewer calls him Matt Bentley. There's no
Yeah.
mention of the Michael Shane stuff.
It's so confusing. Because I know it's
So it
not
could,
time yet. It's not time yet for the Bentley bounce that comes towards the end of his run. But I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
it's actually the Bentley bout is coming soon.
Yeah. So he doesn't have too long of a run. He ends up with Raven for a little bit, and then leaves. But
Mm-hmm.
because he's over, so why not? But I did note that too. I was like, dude, while I like the team of Shelly and Bentley or Shane, whatever you want to call him on this, I like that team a lot. They're both like cocky, arrogant young heels with like a hot girl with them that's making out with Shane, so gets everybody pissed in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like every time, right when Bentley starts to like do something in a singles run, they just stick him back and do like tag team matches again. Like I feel like we've seen him in mostly tag team matches on these pay-per-views, but his storyline revolves around a single feud, so I just don't understand. It's like what the fuck is going on? At one point though, Harris goes to beat on Shelly, and he started begging again, like he did the other month. And I was like, "Oh, dude, no! Please don't start kissing his feet again, like he did the fucking Shocker at the last pay-per-view." The match does spill outside, and Storm tosses Shelly off the stage before running and diving onto him while security is still picking him up. He gave security no time to pick him up. And this is the thing about this match. It's like a Jeff Jarrett match. Once it goes to the outside, dude, it just stays outside for the whole time. And then it clicked in my head. I was like, are there no countouts in tag team matches? They were outside for like 10 minutes. And the ref was just like, come on, guys, get back in the ring. And they're fighting up the ramp through the crowd. Like, I don't understand. Harris cuts off Tracy, as she's going to the ring post after her multiple interferences, and the crowd loses it. Like, he grabs her, and they just they grab her and they cuff her. Sorry, I meant to say cuff, not cut. They cuff her to the ring post, and the crowd's going crazy. Storm has the weirdest hot tag ever. So what happens is he gets tagged. Actually, no, before he gets tagged, he's standing on the apron. He gets the tag from Chris Harris after staring at Michael Shane with nothing going on. He gets in the ring, and he just runs around in a circle for like a minute, and Michael Shane's like, no, don't do anything, please. Please don't do anything. And he's just running around in a circle. And then he starts doing, like, the usual hot tag combos. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why didn't Michael Shane kick him or something? He wasn't dazed. He was looking at him, chasing him, going, no, don't hit me. Don't hit me. But yeah, in the end, Shelly launches over Harris and gets hit with the loudest super kick ever. It sounded like a gunshot going off, and the crowd was like, holy crap. As AMW get the win, but Michael Shane still connects with James Storm with a super kick. They're doing like the battle of the super kicks, gimmick. So he does hit James Storm with the super kick, lays him out, and leaves with Tracy, fleeing the scene of the crime. What'd you think of this little opener here?
Looking at my notes here, I wrote 3 months ago. First things first, I liked that they hyped up Alex Shelley by saying that he had a tape collection that he would study a lot and makes him more prepared for his opponents and thus more talented.
Yes.
That's cool. They should do that more often. The brawl they had on the outside, like you said, it was kind of weird. It went on for so long, and like it just felt out of place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they needed to do that. And like you said, yeah, like fucking, where was the count out? That shit was like 3 minutes. Way more than 10 seconds. But I thought that this match was good. It got the fans pumped, their blood pumped. AMW is always a good team. I thought Bentley and Shelley were a good team. Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it was like a subpar match, like C plus, like right at average.
Yeah, average opener gets the crowd, excited. The crowd loves, I think, all of these guys. So it's a good way to get the crowd awake and active there. Wake and active there. Jesus Christ. We do get a video package for what happened on the pre-show finally with Jeff Jarrett. He talks about how many wrestlers that he's seen get fired. And he knows that TNA officials are going to start opening the door to all these free agents because they know they're the only alternative in the United States. He then loudly asks if RHINO is in the building.
He goes, so it's a good thing I mentioned the fucking like mass firing because this is what he's playing off of. He's going, there was a Black Friday up north. There's gonna be a Black Friday night. Everyone's gonna they're gonna hire everybody. They're gonna fire all of us.
And he's like, "Where's RHINO?" And we're watching this pay-per-view to pay-per-view, and I don't have any context, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I want you to know.
Why are you asking about RHINO?
I watched every Impact going into this show. RHINO was never mentioned once. There is no mention. There is no hype. There is no anticipation for RHINO. Tonight was the first time that RHINO was mentioned.
And the crowd starts chanting for RHINO, and then Mike Tenay's like, "RHINO will be here tonight and no surrender." And everyone's like, "Whoa!" And Jeff Jarrett's like, "Motherfucker, no!" It's like freaking out.
That's some like WCW shit. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why like spoil it?
I'm guessing because RHINO already did.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
so they were just like, yeah. So they're just like, fuck it.
Rhino's
Cat's out the bag.
Stupid.
My guess is the show was supposed to end how it did, but RHINO fucking spoiled it, so they had to like make it a storyline throughout the show.
Interviewer was like, "Hey, RHINO, what are you doing this Sunday?" "You know, I'm debuting for TNA."
Dumbass. So we go backstage now. Ooh, Shane Douglas is with Team Canada, and Robert Roode says that Lance Hoyt is gonna pay for after he put their quote inspiration for life, Scott D'Amore, in the hospital. Petey then proceeds to trash talk Christopher Daniels before they all do the Canadian national anthem. And right as they start, Jeff Jarrett cuts in and says, "I love that song, but guys, I gotta talk to you guys."
It'll be a Black Wednesday in TNA.
Yeah. He goes, he's trying to recruit Team Canada to his side for the eventual TNA Black Wednesday. And they say they have Jarrett's back like they always have. Like, Jarrett, we got you, bro. We got you. And Jarrett's like, "Thanks, guys." And then he leaves. And Rude looks at the crew and he's like,
"We can't trust him."
Yeah, I don't think we can trust Jarrett.
No, he monotonely goes, "We can't trust him."
Which then brings us to our Super X Cup qualification 4-way match, which in my notes I misspelled and I put 4-way math. So it's a math problem.
1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals exhibition.
Equals a bunch of fat asses. The freaks. We got Elix Skipper, Shark Boy, Sanjay Dutt, and Mikey Batts. Yes, Mikey Batts is here with the new gimmick. He's dressed like a Matrix guy now. In the year 2005.
I was a little confused. But
I was like, guess he's getting a little heel push here. And I do got to say, this match debuted the front and back floor camera shots. Like, we've seen the back one from high up, but these were like floor shots. So we were like, I felt like we were like an ant and they were walking by us. I was like, because they were getting real close. I didn't want to get stepped on. But I thought that shit was cool. It's a very unique camera angle. Bring that shit back. Yeah. Very loud Mikey Sucks chants, though, when he comes into the ring. CT's own Mikey Batts, repping us here in this match. There is a very cool spot, though, where Shark Boy dives at Elix, and he avoids it by doing his, Matrix Tristratus move. And, when Shark Boy dives, he's in midair. So when Elix goes down, he just flies over him. And when he does, he tags to Sanjay Dutt. And Sanjay does a springboard double stomp to Elix, who's still in the Matrix pose. It's so weird to explain. You just have to see it.
Yeah.
It was very cool. I like that. Primetime goes to do the tightrope walk spot. And this dude, it just falls apart. He can't get his leg up to do the Hurricane Rana, so then he just fucking back bumps on the apron. Dude, it was rough. I don't know, and the crowd was like, "Aw."
Yeah, this shit fucking falls apart right here.
Yeah, Shark Boy does go for the deep sea drop, and I thought Elix reversed it, but then he like catapults himself out the ring, so I'm like, oh, he hit it? Because he like didn't grab him to hit it, and it looked like he like overshot it. So I was like, what just happened? And then Elix goes out, he falls out of the ring like a cartoon character. And then Sanjay hits a corkscrew 450, almost landing knee first on the Mikey Bat's head. And he gets the 3 count. He will be in the Super X Cup tournament. Winner gets a shot at the X Division champion. This match sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit was pretty bad.
It was definitely the worst X Division match we've seen.
Yeah, the bots just kind of fucked it up for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. For like an X Division match, it didn't really get going that well, and like I don't care about any of these guys to be honest. Like Shark Boy's alright, but
he's only booked because of the fucking lawsuit still. He probably still has some clout a month later.
probably. Spoiler alert, because we're not gonna be watching this anyways. The aftermath of this, Sanjay Dutt joining the tournament, he gets eliminated round 1.
Nice. He's probably fighting Joe, right?
Yes.
Yep, knew it.
But yeah, I don't know. It was you gotta give it like a D plus.
Yeah, I agree. It happened. It's there.
It was
You don't need to
there.
watch it. I say maybe just watch that one spot with Shark Boy, Elix, and Sanjay. That's it. Just the one spot where he does the cool Matrix move.
Yeah.
Ooh, Shane Douglas is backstage now again with Ron Killings and Conan. This is highlighting one of the best feuds going right now in the world of professional wrestling, both in 2005 and 2023. I don't want to hear anything different. He asked them, he goes, guys, where's BG? And then asks, hey, where do you all stand in this family? Where does the family stand in this situation? Dumb question. They're doing bad. They're all standing in different sides of the room. Shane Douglas, I can tell you that. Conan says, I don't fucking know. We haven't heard from this motherfucker in a month. He hasn't been answering our calls. And then they both say they want answers from BG, but Killings is the only one that's like, listen, man, maybe he'll come around. You know, maybe let's give him some time. Truth, it's been a month. Like, come on now.
We haven't heard from BG in a month. He needs to holler at us.
That's probably exact. That's probably word for word what he said.
I wrote it down.
Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. Conan says he's like, forget all that. Oh, we're gonna forget about BG because tonight we're gonna focus on the 2 Live crew, you and me.
God damn it!
And they got a tag match later tonight.
Despite that, did you know that Simon has a problem,
dude? When I saw what this match was on paper, I was like, dude, talk about a match I don't care about at all. Like, the only thing about this match that I liked was Simon Diamond. And it's because they're just letting him do his ECW gimmick. So it's fun.
I wrote down most of the promos. Can I read it real quick?
Yes.
Simon Diamond says, I'm always looking for new talent. And David Young has untapped potential. David Young can bench 400 pounds.
Bullshit. I call cap.
And he is a blue chipper.
And I got blue balls.
For 2 years straight. And why? Because David Young has lacked guidance and didn't have a leader.
Because he's a bald motherfucker.
I, Simon Diamond, is that person. And I will make David Young a diamond in the rough.
This team is straight out of 2000 ECW, and I love it.
There they are.
And then when Sonny Siaki and Apollo came out, I said, no. This sucks. Dude, after hyping up this new tag team with David Young, he's hyping up. He's got all this untapped potential. He's a part of my diamonds in the rough. Blah, blah, blah. We're gonna dominate the tag division. Bro, literally 60 seconds into their tag team forming, they're already arguing with each other for no reason.
Yep.
The bell rings, and all Simon's doing is like, get him, David, kick his ass. And David's like, fucking relax, bro.
Dude,
Shut the fuck up. And like, what? Like, come on, dude.
Fuck. I was like, when I saw this, I was like, bro, this is like worse than like everyone always memes about how like Vince McMahon likes to break up tag teams. Bro, this is TNA trying to break up a tag team in their first match.
Yes. Yes. My God. But I like Simon Diamond. I like watching back his ECW stuff, and I like this shit. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm going to give it a chance. But this match is just, this match is just creator wrestler, generic fucking everything. Like, Simon's the only one that stands out in this match. The only time the crowd popped was for when Apollo flew over the top rope. That was like the only time they popped in this match.
Yeah, I was about to say, to me, the only person that stood out was Apollo.
Really?
Yeah.
Said no one ever. No, I'm kidding.
said neither in this match.
But yeah, Hoss, listen, we're talking shit. But you know the best way to get your new tag team over? You have them lose their debut against Apollo and Sonny Siaki. Brother.
Apollo Siaki push going, bro.
Brother. I couldn't name two better people to win your debut match against. But they had them lose. This should have been on the dark match. This should have. I think Jarrell was in the dark match against Shocker. That was probably a fire match. And I think it was a X Cup qualifier. Shocker won.
But I know Shocker beat Jarrell Clark, but yeah.
I can guarantee you that match was better than this. This had no place on this.
This match was dog shit.
It had no place on this card.
This match was dog shit.
But we were saved with the next match here. This is the only match.
I gave that one a D plus.
Really?
But also, you're missing. We get for the first time the tagline for Bound for Glory after this match, as Don West and Mike Tenay announced that Bound for Glory is happening October 23rd, and it is bigger than the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl, and the World Series combined.
Combined? That's a bold statement.
Combined.
That is a bold statement. Oh, man. But listen, this next match, Hoss, it's the only match I remember from this pay-per-view when I had it on DVD. And, like, the main event, like, parts from it. But this is the only match I really remembered. And it's Chris Sabin versus Samoa Joe. And I don't know if they made a match graphic for this, because when Chris Sabin's music hit, the crowd went, oh, like they were pleasantly surprised that Sabin was getting booked for this match. I don't know. But they were, like, surprised and happy. But listen, Joe is still unbeaten in the past month of competing. They didn't say the number, but guess what our homie's got this month? He's got the towel.
Yes.
He's wearing the towel. This is the Joe. I believe it's maybe another month until we get the fucking...
Well, okay, so that... I'll tell you now, it's actually a couple months to get that theme.
Fucking
But,
bitch.
so, last episode you were saying that he had, like, a basic version of that theme.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember on that show. And I don't know what version of the show you watched, but I had a completely different theme on this one.
This is the same one for me.
For me, it was like some weird, like generic rock song for him.
Really? No, the one on the YouTube cut, it's the same one from the month before, which is just the intro cut version of his old one.
Yeah, I don't know. Here I got the one I got was like some generic. Maybe we're thinking about the same song, and I'm just dumb.
Yeah, because like the part it plays the rock part from like halfway into the song. That's the part it plays. Like it doesn't have the whole ass intro. They just don't have it. It's like, yeah, but no, it was just definitely the same song. But I gotta say, there was a lot of fun chain grappling in this match, which is expected from Joe, but it was fun seeing Sabin kind of adapt his usual style for this match. And there was a point even where Joe whipped Sabin off the ropes, and on the rebound, he flies in with that Samoa Joe kick where he just, like, charges at you and his leg just flies towards your face. That shit was fucking cool. And he came, like, off camera, so it was filmed phenomenally. So it looked like you didn't know what he was going to do. You just fucking see this dude coming in sideways. This, like, 300-pound dude is fucking great. The viciousness of Joe in this match, perfect. So what I liked about this one compared to his debut, first of all, it's Chris Sabin and not Sanjay Dutt, all right? It's Chris Sabin. We've already established him as a multi-time X Division champion. He is a legit competitor in this division, main evented many shows already. So what I like about it is that Sabin is constantly trying to find a chance to come back, but is immediately cut down by Joe, which is not what they did with Sanjay. Sanjay would get a comeback and beat the hell out of Joe, and then Joe would come back after. Sabin didn't get that in this match a lot. especially early on. It was like fully controlled by Joe. And even though they love Joe, the crowd, they were not losing faith in Sabin. So, like, if you watch wrestling in 2023 and there's, like, the baby face you're supposed to like, but the cool heel that he's facing, the crowd's going to chant for the heel. And whenever the baby face does something nowadays, they go, boo, because they want their cool heel to win. They weren't doing that in this. They were still doing the claps for Sabin, cheering for all his comebacks, cheering him on, which I'm like, wow, it's almost like that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I don't know why they don't do that anymore. It's so stupid. Like, have fun. Be a part of the show. Who cares if you don't want him to win? Just play your part in the crowd. You can still cheer. You can still cheer for the guy you like. But just give the babyface his fucking spot. Make it interesting. Because then that fucks up their pushes, too, which is stupid. Yeah. Sabin's offense in this is crazy. He's, like, moving. Like, he gets beaten down, and then when he does get a chance, he gets, like, 2 minutes to do something. And in that 2 minutes, he moves, like, a mile a minute. He'll throw fucking... At one point, he sends Joe to the outside. He hit, like, 15 drop kicks to Joe. He, like, drop kicked him 3 times on the apron, 1 to get off the ring, and then when he was already on the outside, drop kicked him into the barricade. And the crowd's like, ah! They start freaking out when he's doing the drop kicks. And then he eventually does this, like, cool running back double stomp, if that makes sense. It's like a running, which looked insane. And the crowd was like, ah! And they, like, freaked out. I feel like they just tell Joe to just go out and just do what you do in Ring of Honor. Like, just don't change it. Just do what you do. We're going to send you these Ring of Honor guys on pay-per-view, and you just fucking go. And he's like, all right. Got you. Because this felt like an 05 Ring of Honor match, which I liked. Even Sabin, towards one part, he came off the top, and Joe reverses it with his soon-to-be iconic powerbomb into insert submission move here, where he powerbombs him and, like, rolls him over. This time, though, usually he hits a double leg Boston Crab or something else. Tonight, it was an STF that he locked in real tight. Shout out to his boy John Cena that he trained with. Sabin somehow nails a running sit-out powerbomb to Joe, big-ass Samoa Joe, and the crowd is losing their minds at this point. They're like, oh my god, Sabin's going to win. This, 1,000,000% should have opened the show, by the way. Like, the crowd was so hyped at the beginning, middle, and end, and part of after this match. They were fucking just, they were turned up to 100. This, oh god, it bugs me that this didn't open the show. So, in the end, though, Sabin goes to the top. Joe kicks his legs out and nails the Muscle Buster, followed by the Coquina Clutch for the win. And Sabin does not tap, though. He passes out, so it protects Chris Sabin. He doesn't tap out the Samoa Joe. But just like that, Joe has defeated a former X Division champion. The streak continues. And, you know, we're told that he is in the Super X Cup. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out for him, even though he beat Sanjay Dutt in round 1. What'd you think of this match? I love this match. This is probably my favorite match of the show.
I thought this was good. I think overall great. I don't think it was a perfect match, but I think it was a solid A-. I thought that, like you said, like, Joe is the guy they're putting over, but Chris Sabin has that underdog aspect to him that you want to cheer. It's kind of like Sami Zayn. Like, you know, Sami Zayn ain't gonna win a match, like 8 times out of 10, but you want to root for Sami Zayn. Like,
exactly, it's fun too.
So Sabin had the same thing, and I think Joe beating a guy like him who's been a multiple-time X Division champion, especially when you're trying to build him up as this big monster in the X Division, was a good decision. Samoa Joe in his second month already has a ton of heat.
Yep.
The comebacks are cool. I'm glad that he did the walk away from like a quarter splash spot like he always does,
which he still does to this day.
Yep. It's even funnier these days because he dances after now.
Yeah. Or he'll do like the thumb pointing back, like the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah. Everything seemed like it meant something in this match, and it was good. They made you think that Sabin could actually win and upset Joe, and this is TNA when they're at their best. TNA when they're doing things right, and let's just say that we're in for a whole lot of Samoa Joe winning for a little while.
And this is where my day one of watching this pay-per-view ended because it was late at night and I needed to go to bed. So I was like, I'll get back to it tomorrow. And the next match is not something I wanted to start watching. This is one thing I was like, Jesus Christ. So we
You bring the hockey stick, we'll bring the megaphone, did it?
we get a video package for Team Canada and the Naturals. Their storyline going on here, but now it's including Lance Hoyt in this. He's now involved. So we get an interview backstage with Lance Hoyt and the Naturals. Chase says tonight is about respect. Respecting Jimmy Hart, respecting Lance Hoyt, and respecting the beating that we're going to give to Team Canada. And I said, oh, fucking yes, Chase. Yes, King. That's a line. That's the line of the night right there. That's what I'm talking about. And then Hoyt says that what happened to D'Amore is nothing compared to what they're going to do tonight. And I was like, oh, man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. And then the match happened, and I was like, oh. So it's Lance Hoyt and the Naturals with Jimmy Hart taking on Team Canada. A1, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young. The match is marketed as respect versus revenge. Respect on the side of the baby faces and revenge for the heels. Respect. Commentary is celebrating the fact tonight that Scott D'Amore is not at ringside. Dude, they couldn't be more happy. They call it's a breath of fresh air. And then it dawned on me. Oh, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I thought Tanae would be sad because he wanted to he can't talk about how Scott D'Amore's a fucking fat Canadian piece of shit.
Dude, and yeah, well then it dawned on me. I was like, is this the first pay-per-view with no Scott D'Amore that we've ever seen since watching these? He's been on every single one.
What's Scott D'Amore's anniversary?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, because here, that's when he got beat up by Lance Hoyt.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I was like, holy shit. So I love that when Chase Stevens is doing his entrance with everyone, he's putting like a bandana on a child like he's Bret Hart. And then as he's like, he has his head or his hand on this little kid's head, Eric Young jumps him. He like jumps Chase and it kind of like knocks the kid a little bit. And then he just starts fucking wailing on him, just beating the hell out of him. And dude, this match went on for way too long. Like, way too long. I did like how Chase did hit like a picture-perfect moonsault on the A1 and Eric Young. And they're like panning the camera over Eric Young. You just hear him go, ah, in his like raspy voice. He's like screaming in pain. And then they cut to the replay of it. And then when they come back from replay, they practically miss the moonsault by Lance Hoyt onto everyone outside. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, come on. Jimmy Hart stops Team Canada from cheating with the hockey stick, and he grabs the hockey stick for them. And the ref turns around and is like, oh my God. Jimmy Hart has the Team Canada stick like he always does? You're out of here, buddy. You're cheating. And he was like, what, Daddy? I don't use this stick. And he's like, get out of here. He's like, well, I'm not leaving without the stick. And he like runs away with it. And he takes the hockey stick with him. And when they're taking him out, fucking Lance Hoyt and Andy Douglas are like chasing him up the ramp. And they cut to the ring, and Chase Stevens just getting the shit beaten out of him by A1. And like they do not care. Like, what the fuck, dude? Hoyt does his like punches in the corner. The Hoyt. And dude, the crowd loved Lance Hoyt. Jesus Christ. They were so loud when they were chanting Hoyt. Just very shocked he didn't get some sort of title run. Very shocking. So the ref does get taken out as Team Canada cheats using Jimmy Hart's megaphone for the victory. The 1, 2, 3. Team Canada is the winners. They avenge their motivation for life, or whatever they call them. Scott D'Amore. This was another case of a TV match happening on a pay-per-view, I'm gonna be honest. And it went it was like a 20-minute match. I was like, holy shit, dude.
So the official time was 14 minutes 50 seconds.
Oh god, it felt like 20.
I thought it was a solid match, you know. I thought, it's definitely a TV match, but like I thought it was solid. They mixed together two feuds. It's a good thing. They did some good stuff. I honestly, personally, I didn't feel like this match was dragging as much as you did. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm not gonna say like it was fucking like the best thing since sliced bread. I'll say
It
it's like a B minus.
redefined 6-man matches.
I'll say it was a B minus, but
So, Hoss, it's time for our bloodline story to
this
continue.
mother is a bad thing.
The same fucking song, bro. They keep
Bro,
using this shit.
This fucking video packages.
3 live
This
crew.
mother is a bad thing. 3 live crew.
So we get 3 live crew video package before the street fight tonight, recapping everything that we've been viewing for the past couple months. They're showing the same footage.
I am convinced that they just keep using the same video package and just adding the new stuff to the end of it.
But the thing is, like, there's barely new stuff. The only new stuff this month was Monty Brown now being a part of this. And the little part he's in was the best part of the video package because he's making fun of BG James. He's like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. And I'm like, that was a spot-on impression. He did really well in that. So now we're in the back. Ooh, Shane Douglas is interrupted by the Outlaw. He says that he has a huge announcement. He teases reuniting with BG James. He's like, listen, he was my best friend and my tag team partner, like he will be again. And he says that he's doing something in honor of BG James because he talked to Bullet Bob and he remembers when Bullet Bob called him his son. So he is now changing his name to Kip James, using the same last name as BG
He doesn't
James.
say he's doing it to honor BG. He's doing it to honor fucking his dad.
No, he said to honor BG.
Oh,
And
did he?
yeah. He's doing it to
worse.
honor. He said in honor of them both. Because
Yeah,
I remember I
that's
heard it and I was like,
weird.
oh, is he going to like put the match in his honor because he's not here tonight or something? And then he said that and I was like, oh, this is when they change his name.
But then
so-
the worst thing happened.
So they do their promo, and as they're walking away, Jeff Jarrett's like, guys, have you seen RHINO? Do you know where RHINO is?
No, the
And
thing
Kip
that
James-
pissed me off the most is he cut off fucking Monty Brown by to say pounds.
Yeah. And Kip James is like, dog, I don't give a fuck about RHINO. I got a street fight up next with like my sworn enemies. I do not care. And he's like, but guys, just hear me out. BG, we go way back. We're boys, right? Come on, we gotta stick together. We can't have another Black Wednesday. We can't have a Black Wednesday here in TNA. And literally, Kip looks at him and goes, dude, I have a match. Like, I gotta go. So he walks away and he stops
Monty
Monty.
Brown, the most level-headed person
Yes.
in this company.
So he stops Monty and he says, Monty, are you with me tonight? Are you on my side? And Monty's like, we were together basically for a deal. And my deal was saying that I would get a title match. And he goes, by the looks of it, and he puts his little like fingers around his waist and he goes, that might be a little hard to do now. He goes, this contingency relies on me getting a title shot. And then he just walks away. I'm like, dude, yes, logic. That's what I like to see. And Jarrett's like, oh my God. He's like panicking for fucking RHINO.
Oh my god, Black Wednesday! It's
He thinks-
everyone get fired.
I like that signing RHINO is gonna cause the roster to lose their jobs. That's the big thing about this.
No,
RHINO.
The funniest part isn't even that he thinks he's gonna cause the roster to lose their jobs. It's the fact that he's like, it makes sense if he was telling like some jobbers like Mikey Batts and Simon Diamond, he's going to the top guys in this company and saying, if we sign RHINO, you might lose your job.
Oh man, and dude, and then so the matchup next, no DQ, street fight, Kip James and Monty Brown versus the 3 Live Crew, Conan and Ron Killings. It always bugged me, and it will bug me until the day I die, that Billy Gunn was not called BG James. It was the other one called that, which I always hated. I hated it so much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if he never chose the name BG James, that would have been the perfect name for Billy Gunn. Because BG, you know what I mean?
Well, is his shoot middle name start with a G?
Fuck yeah, fuck if I know.
I'll find out. I can find out. Let's see. Road Dog. Yeah, it is. Brian Gerard James. That's why.
Oh, so that's why he was. Oh, he just used his shoot name, BG James.
He's literally using his shoot name.
Okay. Oh, and also when Conan came out, you don't understand how badly I wanted that TNA basketball jersey whenever he wore it. They only made it.
facts.
They only made it for Conan and R-Truth. They were the only two that had it. But motherfucker, I wanted that shit so bad with my name on the back.
Yeah.
To this day, I even Googled it to see like if it was made by someone else on like a third-party site. No one makes it. So you know what that means? I'm going to have to make it on one of those custom basketball jersey sites or some shit because I need that shit right now. Within the first couple minutes, though, of this match, when Truth takes out Monty and Conan grabs Kip, dude, he busts Kip's face open. So the way they did it is Kip bladed before slamming his head on the announce table. But when he did it, like the way it looked great where he slams it, and the minute his head comes up, he's fucking gushing blood. It was so perfect the way he did it. And dude, in the matter of those opening 3 minutes, I was like, this is the best match of this whole feud already. Because every other match of this feud was skippable. In the first 3 minutes, I was like, oh my god, there's actually shit happening. This feels like a serious blood feud. Wow. And the crowd was enjoying it. So I was like, oh my god, this is actually good. And then, I spoiler alert, this isn't a long match. This is a short and quick match, which I was like, cool. I'm fine with that. Conan, at one point, goes to hit Kip James with like a metal sheet and completely misses because Kip moves and he nails Slick Johnson with the fucking metal sheet. And then he just looks at the ref and is like, oh, well. And then he hits Kip James after, like he doesn't give a fuck. But then Conan's a dumbass, and then he goes for a pinfall. You just saw the ref you knocked out the ref, dog. Why are you going for a pin? So then another ref comes out. I forgot his name. He comes out, slides in. The match continues. They go for a 3 count. He goes 1, 2, and literally, it was filmed perfectly. He's going down for the 3 count, and he just goes, whoop, off camera. He just goes flying off camera, and they cut, and it's Kip James pulling him out the ring, and I was like, that's great, because you didn't expect that. That was perfect. So in the end, though, Rudy Charles does come out after Monty Brown. I believe he had a pounce, and they get a 3 count. So Monty and Kip do win. This match was short, sweet, hardcore. If you could feel the intensity and the seriousness of the match, and the crowd was into it. And I was like, yeah, that's how it should have been this whole time. That's how it should have been. Who would have thought the one match without BG James was good?
Are you ready to hear for like the first time a major different opinion?
Oh, wow, you didn't like this match.
I fucking
I just
it.
think you have a vendetta against this feud.
No, I have a vendetta against Billy Gunn in 2005. I actually thought this match was extremely weak.
What? This is the best match of their whole storyline.
I what's the right way to say this? Like, I know the whole match, you're just waiting for BT James to come in and do something. And that ended up being inconsequential to the match.
Yes.
And I just thought the match was weak in general. Like the first 90 seconds, maybe, I thought was pretty fun. And, I will say, I like that it wasn't a super long match. You are right. It's short and sweet. But the only person in this match that I truly like is Monty Brown. I don't think Conan is very good. And truthfully, I've never thought Conan was very good, but I'll at least say that in like the 90s, like WCW, he was like bearable. To me, TNA Conan is just not something I can enjoy. R-Truth is good, but like this is not the type of match where R-Truth's gonna shine.
No.
And I just don't like Billy Gunn in 2023 is like fucking it's like fucking Bryan Danielson compared to Billy Gunn in 2005. But yeah, I don't know. I wrote in my notes that I gave it a D.
This match was all building to the post-match angle, where Kip grabs a microphone. He grabs a microphone, and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while. I'm gonna say something I haven't said in a long time. If you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you." And the whole crowd goes, "Suck it!" And he goes, "No, no, no." and he looks at the ramp where BG is now, and BG has his hands over his
no.
head, like when like Ken Anderson saw fucking Ken Anderson on the August 1 warning, where his hands on top of his head. That's what BG is doing with his hat, and he goes, the 2 words are, and he looks at me and he goes, my brother. The crowd goes, huh? What? So BG slowly, he slowly.
I like the. Oh no.
And BG slowly starts walking down to the ring, and he's super conflicted. And the crowd's chanting, "New Age Outlaws!" They just want them to get back together. If BG walks into the ring, he's still got his hand on his head. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, "Oh my god!" And Kip goes outside. He goes, "Wait a minute." He goes outside. He gets a chair, and he hands him the chair. And BG grabs it, and the crowd's like, "Yeah, fucking hit him!" And he's like, because he wants him to hit. He wants him to hit Ron Killings, and everyone's like, "Do it!" And he's like,
Do it.
he grabs the chair and he shakes it, and then he slams it on the ground. Everyone's like, "Boo!" Boo! And then he leaves. The mystery continues. Will BG join Kip? Find out next month here on Impact.
Fucking damn it.
Dude, this is literally just Jey Uso and Roman Reigns in 2005.
The storyline just won't fucking end.
BG James' tribal chief, Kip James, wants him to stay he wants him to come back to the bloodline. But this is gonna happen in like a year when Roman wants the Uso that left. They want him to stay or to come back.
Jay?
Yeah.
The one you just mentioned?
Yeah, I forgot after I said it. Main event BG. That's all I'm saying right now. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, fuck both those storylines. AJ Styles' video package is up next. Reflecting on Sean Waltman. They get nose to nose. They're like, they're getting real close.
Like sniffing each other, bro.
Yeah.
It's like snorting AJ's snot.
And what I love is that like they're not doing anything. They're just like yelling at each other and getting very loud. But Jerry comes out and is like, "Guys, relax."
You're taking this to a new level.
Yeah, and actually, I think it got ramped up because of him. Because then he like shoved them both and was like, "Fucking cut it out." They were like, "Whoa." And then like the next scene is Sean Waltman beating the shit out of AJ Styles, and I was like, "What? Why do they hate each other?"
Well, Gabe and listeners, it's time for a little TNA history lesson because there was really no storyline going into this feud, but I'm going to give you the storyline.
Oh.
On June 26, 2002, AJ Styles beat Jerry Lynn to become the first X Division champion.
Nice.
When the NWA World Tag Belts became exclusive to TNA in July of 2002, AJ and Lynn were the first ones to hold the gold and held the belt for 10 weeks. 3 months later, when Lynn was X Division champion, he was stripped of the belt due to injury, and on the same night, Sean Waltman won the title by showing up really late to an invitational ladder match. 2 weeks later, AJ pinned Waltman to win his second X Division title. 2 weeks after that, Jerry Lynn returned and beat AJ to regain that title. That's not including Jerry Lynn and Sean Waltman's historic encounters back in the old GWF days. So, loads of kayfabe history here.
Ooh, Shane Douglas is backstage. And by the way, at this point, Shane still does the ooh, but he does it really quick. He goes, ooh, backstage. Yeah. Ooh. He's like, ooh. He sounds like a Roblox character dying. Ooh.
Ooh, I'm here with Jerry Lynn.
Yeah. And Jerry Lynn's still cutting the shittiest promo ever. And he says, it's been a frustrating year since my shoulder injury, Shane. And Shane's like, fucking cut this shit. Listen, give me something here. He goes, you gotta be giving one man an edge tonight. We work together. I know how you are. And he goes, well, Shane, you don't know me well enough.
Well, Shane.
He goes, I'm not going to favor everyone tonight because I take pride in my work, and I'm going to make sure that the best man wins tonight. Also, this has no importance on anything on the show. He's cutting the promo with his hair out. They cut to the ring. He's immediately coming out with a ponytail, and I was like,
yeah,
that was taped. These aren't live. Oh, my God. I thought the interviews were live.
Give his promo some oomph. I'm going to make sure the best man wins.
If only he did that. But his theme song was great. His theme song hits and it's like, ooh. And I was like, yeah, Jerry Lynn. Let's go. I got to say, though, even in the first opening minutes, they do like AJ and Sean. They do like the X Division super quick grapples and reversals and stuff. And Sean slides out the ring, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" In 05, Waltman could still go with someone like AJ.
Oh,
Like,
hell yeah.
this is a good radar on how good Sean Waltman was, even in 2005. If only he didn't have his addictions to like plague him. It's very
Yeah.
disappointing that was his downfall. Because, dude, in 05, even though he's still like very heavy into drugs and alcohol at this time, he was still. This match was not bad at all.
No.
This was not a bad match. At one point in this match, there's a random 1, 2, 3 kid chant. The crowd's just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, why are they chanting 1, 2, 3 kid to him? And he goes for a Bronco Buster, and when he does, AJ just like jumps up and he catches, like pushes Sean Waltman in the air and almost hits a pop-up Styles Clash. And then Sean just kicks him in the head. And then Don West goes, "That's a good way to get out. Just kick him in the head." And I was like, yeah, I always thought that. Like, it's the easiest way to get out of the Styles Clash. Just move your legs.
Yeah.
He'll drop you eventually. Waltman, okay. This part was fucking scary. So AJ's standing outside, and Waltman does like a diving senton, but he throws himself like a sack of potatoes. And he crashes into AJ. I don't think AJ expected him to come that fast. That's what she said. And and when he hit AJ, he like shot back towards the metal barricade. Dude, this motherfucker whacked the back of his head so hard on the metal barricade. Fucking brutal. They start cutting the camera to the crowd. After that, I don't know why. I don't know if AJ was knocked out, but he was just like laying there, and then they cut the cameras over. And they keep showing, like, the nosebleeds. And I was like, what the fuck? And speaking of nosebleeds, this motherfucker's gushing from his mouth now. From his mouth and nose. I don't know what happened, but he was fucked up after that move. And you can see it in AJ's eyes. Dude, he was out of it. He was on autopilot. Like, Sean goes to the, like, shoots him into, like, the ring post. And AJ, like, jumps over it and hits him with, like, a clothesline reversal. And, like, he literally went from being completely out of it to boom, just he's back in it now. I was like, what the? I don't know how he's even walking right now after that. And even though he was probably half concussed or fully concussed at this point, we start seeing regular AJ Styles. This dude, just immediately after being basically knocked out cold, hits a perfect phenomenal forearm, lays out Waltman. He gets up, he fucking goes like, ah! He starts flexing his muscles. Crowd's flipping out. There's just blood covering the second half of his face. He does his whole comeback combo, doing everything like nothing happened. And as the match goes on, Waltman does get a chair, and he puts it over AJ's leg. He tries to Pillmanize AJ Styles. And Jerry Lynn, remember, Jerry Lynn's the referee this whole match, calling it down the middle. He tells him, he's like, Waltman, don't do it. Get down. Don't do it. And Waltman's like, fuck you, pussy. I'm going to go to the top, which he does. He goes to the top, and Jerry Lynn's like, all right. So he takes the chair out, and the crowd's like, woo! So Waltman's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Don't touch my shit. And then AJ, or sorry, what happened after? Is Waltman tried to hold the rope when AJ tried to go for like a, I think it was like a roll-up pinfall after that, and he grabbed onto the rope, and Jerry Lynn did the referee spot where he runs on the rope, and he kicks the feet off, and instead of flying back into like a pinfall, he flew back into AJ holding the legs and standing up and hitting a Styles Clash for the win. Jerry Lynn does help AJ win in the end, but it is in a way where it's fair. You know what I mean? He told Waltman to stop using the chair. He didn't. Then he tried to cheat by holding the rope. Has to let go of that rope, which is what he helped him do. But I can see how this will flow into a future Sean Waltman, Jerry Lynn program if that's the way they go.
Yeah.
What'd you think of this match?
I like this match. I liked it was like less like spot fest X Division type match, and it was more like they leaned into their technical sides of their repertoires. And I thought it was good. I'm always a fan of the little like three guys that doing nothing, so let's put in a little like triple threat animosity.
Yeah.
Sean Waltman, I thought Sean Waltman was the best performer in this match. I thought he was very, very good.
I think it's because AJ was half dead half the match.
Probably. But even then, I thought both men were pretty good in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought this is great. I thought it was like the best 2000s era Shawn Michaels match I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a good match, and there was a story, with Lynn
Oh,
teaming and
Beast
facing against both these men. So there was an actual story here. It wasn't just made up bullshit that had no reason to happen. So yeah,
Mhm.
I go with that. And AJ and Sean Waltman, remember, if I'm correct, during the pay-per-view, they were working together during that King of the Mountain match, and then Sean turned on AJ. So it makes sense why this is happening. It's the good reason
Yeah.
why they have beef. So I'm cool with it. Good match. Yeah, a very simple and easy, good pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
But we go backstage now, and Jeff Jarrett's like, Larry Zbyszko, where the hell is RHINO?
He says, in order to prevent a Black Wednesday in TNA, Larry Zbyszko needs to give him a title shot.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. So, but I think that's the best part, because the whole pay-per-view, he's like, where's RHINO? Where's RHINO? We cut to the back, and he's like, God damn it, Zbyszko, give me a title shot. I deserve it. And I'm like, what? And then Zbyszko's like, bro, like, I can't. Like, I gave it to Abyss. He deserves it. Like, what the fuck? I can't. So then Jarrett literally goes from that to going, then, all right, then where's RHINO? I heard he's going to be here then. Where is he? And Zbyszko's like, he's here. He's like, okay, where? He's like, I don't know. Why am I supposed to memorize where he is? I don't fucking care. As long as he's here, that's what matters.
I love
And
that
Jarrett's like,
nobody gives a fuck that RHINO is here.
yeah. They all read the dirt sheets. They read the interview. They already knew it. Jarrett was the only one caught off guard. He's like, did you guys read that shit?
You know what I gotta say to Jeff Jarrett fucking not knowing about that shit?
What?
You fucking mark!
Oh my god. Well, our next match, which is the co-main event of the show, it's an X Division title match here, as Christopher Daniels, the reigning defending champion, takes on Peter Williams, good old little PD Pump.
Well,
He has,
Peter.
yeah, and because Scott D'Amore's not here, he's got A1 at ringside now. Oh hell yeah, the GOAT A1. So I like that. Even like a not crazy hyped X Division match, when you see the competitors, you're like, oh, this is still gonna be like a solid. You're still gonna get like a good match. So I'm like, yeah. And Daniels has had some like heavily booked things recently. Give him a month where he doesn't, especially going into the tournament. Give him a good match, a good defense, but nothing too heavy going into the tournament coming up, which is going to be very important for him since he's the champion. So this is the usual well put together X Division match. It's a match with two guys who are heels, but what I do like is that they both get babyface and heel spots. So they both cheat, but they both get like the babyface comebacks and all that. So it's a little even split, so the crowd's cheering and booing both, so no one favors the other, which I think is smart. We do see Samoa Joe. They randomly show Samoa Joe standing on the ramp, and he's staring down this match with some serious intent. And right
That boy
as
stood there
they...
the whole match.
Dude, he was there the whole match. And right as Tenay says, oh, Samoa Joe, a competitor in the Super X Cup winner, gets a shot at the X Division champion. And I was like, wow, the only guy in the tournament standing on the ramp staring down the champion who's undefeated. I wonder who's going to win. I don't need to watch the fucking thing now because you just teased the match.
Yeah.
Dummies. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, it was an average match. Nothing really too much to write home about. In the end, Daniels does win with the BME to retain the title. And then A1 charges the ring and he runs out like, haha, bitch. And he leaves. And then we're told that the Super X Cup is beginning this Friday on Impact. What'd you think of this little quick, co-main event here for the X Division title?
That was good. The crowd, when you have two heels like that against each other, the crowd back in 2005, they don't really know who to cheer for, so it kind of kills a little bit of a match for me, because normally with like the X Division match, especially Chris Daniels, like the people love Daniels as a competitor, but they hate him character-wise, so like for him to be going against another heel and them not having somebody to cheer against him, I thought that was a little odd. I thought the match was good. The ending was kind of Like, I feel like they just kind of... It felt like they lost track of time and had to, like, just hurry it up and get to a finish there. Yeah, I thought it was good. I gave it like I say a solid like B minus.
And then after that match, we do get a video package for our main event here. It's Raven versus Abyss, featuring Jeff Jarrett throughout this video package because he's like, I want my belt. Give me my belt. And they're all like, no. He literally did nothing to get a shot, so fucking earn it. And Raven, so at first I was upset because we're not getting a Raven interview, but we do get some clips of some that happened on Impact. And Raven tells Abyss that he's better off getting into a bathtub and then throwing a toaster in it while he's inside. Yes. Raven tells Abyss to literally kill himself in a video package.
Yes, he did.
This is your babyface world champion.
Yes.
And he's like, kill yourself, loser.
Yep.
Yo, it's fucking nuts, dude. I fucking love, dude. Hoss, the crowd, the people listening can't see, but motherfucker, this is a Raven household, bro. For people who don't can't see, I just busted out a Raven figure that's on my desk. This is a Raven household. By the way, this is the most fucking ECW pay-per-view. We got Simon Diamond bringing back the Diamonds in the Rough. We got fucking Raven in the main event for a world title. We got RHINO being talked about this whole night. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is this? What is it, EV 2.0? Or what the fuck is that what they're called?
They didn't. Yeah, it was. Fucking, I can't wait till we get there in fucking 5 years. Yeah, fucking, like, everyone always, like, they stole WWE's talent. Yeah, no, before they were stealing fucking ECW's talent.
Yeah, they're literally. Oh, man. But overall, this is a very brutal and bloody battle. Whenever Raven is in a dog collar match, it's never a horrible match. This is like, they want to say the Clockwork Orange is a specialty. I would argue that it would be a dog collar match. He's done them in ECW. His most iconic one is against CM Punk and Ring of Honor. He did this one with Abyss that, again, wasn't a bad match, had some memorable moments. So, it was a good main event. Some highlights for sure, but nothing too crazy to write home about. There was a great spot where Abyss got his forehead stapled with a staple gun. Not once, but twice. He, like, stapled a piece of paper to Samoa Joe's open part of his mask. And the crowd's like, ah!
All right, Lawler.
Yeah, they're, like, disgusted the whole time. The really big highlight, the thing that everybody probably remembers from this match, if you've seen this match when it happened, Raven and Abyss fight up the ramp. They're fighting outside. They're like, blah, blah, because his match is like 80% outside. They're bleeding everywhere. Abyss is fighting with the fucking paper stapled to his forehead. He's not taking it out. And they're fighting. Raven throws Abyss off the stage, and he flies. Dude, that was a very high stage, by the way. The TNA stages were massive. And he flies through, like, this group of tables there. And it's funny because he lands in it, and his head snaps back, and all you see is the fucking paper stapled in his head. I was like, holy shit, it's still in there. And then they show the replay, like, a couple times, and Raven's on the top of the stage, like, yeah, I just killed him. And then you just see him go, oh, and Abyss fucking yanks him by the dog collar. Dude, he just yanks him off the stage, and he just goes flying face forward into the ground. And then he kind of hits his head on a table for real. And then Raven starts, like, punching the ground in anger, because he just whacked his head on a fucking table. That shit was nasty, dude. It was brutal. And then they're fighting back down the ramp towards the ring, and Abyss sets up a table on the ring post, and he turns around and Raven's running at him. You're like, oh, they're gonna go through the table, and they do, and they break, the bottom of the table, because the way he falls, he only cracks the bottom part, like the corner, and the crowd goes, oh. So Abyss eventually gets his tacks, and he puts them all on the ground, puts Raven on the top rope. And, bro, this really is fucking, like, ECW, because as he's about to do a slam to Raven off the top rope, Cassidy Riley comes out dressed like Raven because he has a new flock member.
So they teased us on the pre-show. On the pre-show, Cassidy Riley was, like, sitting in the crowd in Raven gear.
Yeah.
like alone, and like fucking commentators no sold it. They're like, "Look at this fucking jobber."
No, and I think what's great about it is that like he's dressed like Raven. He's got like the cut off sleeves, the arm tape, the boots. You know, he's got the scraggly hair, the chin strap like he had in WCW, but he's wearing like booty shorts. He's not wearing like regular jean shorts. They're like ones that like someone's girlfriend would wear in 2023. And when he got to the top rope, I was like, "Yo, Cassidy Riley really wears some booty shorts right now." What the fuck? That shit just, it was like, the look was cool, and then I saw the shorts, and I was like, "Oh, you just fucking, you ruined it." But he goes to try to help Raven, and Abyss just says, "Fuck off," and he, like, pushes him. And Cassidy, like, does the Raven pose on the top after he punches Abyss, and Abyss just grabs him by the throat and throws him to the outside onto these tables that were set up in the first, like, 5 minutes of the match, and just explodes the tables, kills Cassidy Riley. Never going to hear from him again tonight. Raven eventually does, when he gets his focus back onto Abyss, hits him with the even flow DDT onto the thumbtacks, which 100% hurt Raven more than it did Abyss. Because even if, not only does he have half of his face covered, the part that is uncovered has a piece of paper blocking his forehead. So, doesn't fucking matter. And but I think what was also great is when Raven landed in the tacks, he like lifted his back up and the camera zoomed in, and there was no tacks in his back.
Yep.
It's like, wow. And then he gets the pinfall, he gets the win. Still your champion is Raven. And I'm like, all right, cool, show over. And then fucking pre-woo. And I was like, dude, there's 2 minutes left in the show. What? And then I remembered, oh yeah, RHINO's supposed to be here, right?
This pissed me off.
So, the final 2 minutes, Jarrett comes out. Not only does he come out, he has his fucking smoke pyro. He's got everything.
got his guitar.
His guitar. And he gets up on the apron. Commentary, by the way, when his music hits, commentary's like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's Jeff Jarrett. They're just annoyed. He gets on the apron, and he's like, that belt is mine, Raven. You don't deserve that belt. I do. And guess what? I got 2 words for you. Turn around. And when he turns around, dude, the most steroid-looking RHINO shows up. Dude, RHINO was in phenomenal shape in 05. He charges at Raven and hits him with the gore, and he lifts his arms up. Dude, he's just like fucking, he's built like, I don't even know how to describe. I was like, Jesus, this is a scary RHINO. Like, if this dude was running at me, he was built different in 05. I was like, because usually like when he lifts his arms up, his body looks all wide and shit. Like he's built like a fucking Samsung Android phone. You know what I mean? With like little arms. But dude, at this time, he's like fucking like, like insane shape. And I was like, holy crap. And then he gets in the ring, and I was like, oh, he's going to hit Jarrett. He's been looking for him. And Jarrett's like, ha-ha, you son of a bitch. And then he raises RHINO's hand, and commentary's like, oh, it was a swerve the whole time. He tricked us. He's with RHINO. What?
So
Why?
we are to presume that the things that happen on camera backstage are in kayfabe legit. So all night, Jeff Jarrett's running around, whining about RHINO being in the building, even though he knew RHINO was in the building. And we are to believe that for some weird, odd, unknown reason, that Jeff Jarrett was just trolling everybody. Jeff Jarrett was trying to recruit an army of wrestlers to protect him, when at the end of the day, he knew RHINO wasn't going to do anything to him.
Yeah, because like, what if they all came out? What if they all were like, yeah, we'll back you up, and then RHINO came out and they all jumped RHINO?
Yeah.
Like,
so now,
if I'm RHINO, I'm like, Jeff, fuck you.
In a non-kayfabe sense, if Jeff Jarrett knew RHINO was in the building, why the fuck did we have to sit through, including the pre-show, 6 Jeff Jarrett segments?
Oh my god.
Dude, like, there needs to be a case study done on whose reign of terror is worse, Jeff Jarrett or Triple H.
No, you can add 3 now. It's like, which one has been painful? Jarrett, Triple H, or Roman, since he hasn't been on TV. Those are the 3 reigns of terrors that people are like, fucking end.
Roman pre-taking a break all the time is great. So I think that we can automatically take him out of the race. But Triple H, like, 02
No,
to,
he stays in the
to
race.
05?
No, you can't count that. No, no, he's in the race.
When Roman's there,
After
has
month
entertaining
6, everyone was
storylines.
like, fucking make him lose. And it's been like that ever since.
I don't know about that. I think there was like the first year. I think people were all right. I'll agree. After like year
His
one,
feud with Jay,
were
people
like,
wanted him to lose to Jay immediately.
Well, that was just because Jay was built up. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, that's
like,
the
like,
point.
they didn't want him to lose to Jay because Roman Reigns is champion. They wanted him to lose to Jay because we want Jay to be champion. I'm talking like when Triple H is champion, people were like, "Fucking have the fucking Hurricane beat him." We don't want Triple H to do shit. I'll fucking take Lance Cade as champion.
Let's go. Cater, stand up.
Caters.
My Cater Knights. Yeah, dude, makes no fucking sense why RHINO is with Jeff Jarrett. And that's why I was like, when RHINO said he was going to be at Impact, I 1,000,000% think that the Jarrett segments during the show were added in last minute because people knew he was going to be there. And then it begs the question, I'm like, if that is the case, what was supposed to happen in all 6 of those segments? Were we supposed to get a Raven promo at some point in the show and they had to get rid of it? Like, what happened? I just, I feel like the ending of the show was supposed to be the big surprise and have him show up to a big reaction, but he fucked it up. Because even when he was like in the ring, you couldn't tell because the crowd didn't react, which I guess was fine. Yeah. They didn't react until he hit the gore and then they freaked out. And I'm like, all right, these people aren't that blind. Like, I know it's Florida, but they're not that dumb. Oh, man. But yeah.
I think it was just a swerve for the sake of having a swerve.
Yeah. But see, this is the thing with Jarrett. Like, I wouldn't count this part of his story like a part of his reign of terror because he's, like, not champion yet. So, like, I can't count this as, like, a part of it. Also, he hasn't been on TV, like, on a pay-per-view in, like, 2 months.
Well, so last month's anniversary, Jarrett was arrested on the pre-show. So, yeah, he wasn't there.
And then this one, he was just looking for RHINO. He was, yeah, because he lost to AJ. But then he lost that one, so.
But even though he's looking for RHINO, Jeff Jarrett was here, all right?
Oh, no, he was on the show. He was on the show.
Jeff Jarrett was here. No, so, like, on TV, Jeff Jarrett's, like, always doing, like, pre-tape shit. Like I said, at the TV tapings for the 4 weeks leading up to No Surrender here, Jeff Jarrett's only appearance in front of a crowd was him whacking Zach Gowen with a guitar.
Yeah.
But
I love, by the way, when in the video package for this match, Jeff Jarrett's like, why are you treating me like this? And he's like, well, I didn't tell you to go fucking beat up a fan. That was your fault. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
Everything about Jeff Jarrett in this era of TNA, especially like where we're at right now, none of it made sense. Like, I think that everything Jeff Jarrett did was just for the sake of Jeff Jarrett being front and center, no matter who was the top guy. And I think this is another case of it. Like, Raven gets his first title defense out of the way, and Jeff Jarrett has this whole swerve just because we need Jeff Jarrett standing tall in the show.
Yeah. But the next show, Sacrifice, on August 14th. Cool ass poster of Raven with the pain word written on his body and the fucking paint dripping down his face, and it has ravens flying in the background. Yeah. The taglines for this show was pain. So that's gonna be the next show we review. Sacrifice 2005. This Sunday at Sacrifice. So yeah, Hoss, that was No Surrender 2005. Yup. Feedback next one.
Whoa. We're gonna give our overall thoughts. What do you think of the show?
My overall thoughts for No Surrender 2005. I thought the show was on the same par as Slammiversary. It was neither worse nor better.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good things on the show, but there's also a lot of like bad and/or I don't give a fuck things on this show.
Yeah.
Sean Weltman versus AJ Styles was awesome. Samoa Joe versus Chris Sabin was awesome. Raven Abyss was pretty good. I didn't give a rating for that match. What was it? I give it a B minus. Okay. I thought Daniels versus Petey was pretty good, but I didn't like the heel versus heel. That was kind of weird, but I get why they did it. Like it keeps the realism of like anyone can be a contender. Like sometimes you got to run those type of things so like everyone looks like credible threats. But then you had things like fucking Exhibit A, Jeff Jarrett. You had things like fucking the Diamonds in the Rough versus Apollo and Sonny Siaki. You had the 3 Live Crew.
No, stop you right there.
But thought it was good. It's a filler show, no doubt. But like it was good. It was a nice little thing. Overall, I think I'd give the show like a solid
Right.
B.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
B for Jeff Jarrett's a bitch.
B for be better next month.
B
Give
for
us do an
don't
A
fuck
next
Jeff
month.
Jarrett
Give us
so
an A
much.
show. We will see you on the next one, and stay safe. For Hoss and Gabe,
Six on
we're
the
out of here. Keep your fingers on.